Welcome back to Fen Tries a New Game. This one's called the Stanley Parable. The screen seems to show an infinite loop. It's really bizarre, and that mouse cursor on the screen is not transparent. This game is very badly made. No, I'm just kidding. Apparently this game is really, really weird and inexplicable, so that sounds like it's right up my alley. Let's begin the game. Never the end is. Well, looks like Yoda wrote this game. Very interesting.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Really?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Even though he'd already been waiting an hour, whoa, normal walk is already super fast and there's no run. So this kind of reminds me of that one experimental HL2 mod called, oh, you can't jump. That's realistic. called, I don't even remember what it was called, but it was like you go and you put numbers in a box and it was trippy and all sorts of crazy.
All of it's gone. What could it mean?
Damn it.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Everyone's dead, Dave. Looks like these numbers are unnecessarily large and given unnecessary importance.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Well, I think the controls are pretty simple. There's no zoom key or anything, I think. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess this is like an old-fashioned office with stupid old IBM PC lookalikes and weird keyboards. And I remember those keyboards with the different keys of different colors. And I sort of remember landline telephones. It's hilarious. Those are actually considered outdated and old-fashioned now, akin to, you know, black and white TVs and capacitors with paper in them. And yeah, so apparently I'm either supposed to follow the game's orders or disobey them blatantly or do something or do nothing. Apparently this game is just utter chaos. Like, I don't know. I mean, I didn't read any reviews because they're all like, don't read this review, it's a spoiler. But I can imagine right now that if I were paying attention to my environs, wow, that thing is crashed over or something, that, oh no, it's just a photocopy machine. Well, there's a door open. If only I could smash through with a crowbar, but alas, I don't want to cut because a guy might be talking in my face. Well, I can't really... Oh, wait. E is use, is it? Oh, yeah. Actually, no. It's the left mouse button, but also E works
Stanley came to a set of two
even though it says it didn't.
open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Did he?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Interesting. This is sort of like, you know, boondoggle, Bastion, where it narrates it for you. That is the most un-let's playable game in history. It's kind of funny to like, we don't want anyone to let's play, let's make it so it let's plays it for you, so nobody can even get a word in edgewise. It's like they made it just for me.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Can I read this? This is too small. There's no zoom. Let me see.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Shut up! I'm trying to read this thing. It says, what is it about...
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Okay, point taken. Jesus. Do what you say for
now. He had
now.
enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Final. This time
he
we'll...
detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Sometimes I'll listen to the narrator, sometimes I won't, I suppose. But this is like way too tempting. I just love the cheek with which he said, he did this, and then they tempt you to do the complete opposite. So great.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Fair enough.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
This game is amazing.
No,
What?
no, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see, we went down, right, left, down, left, right.
He's looking up a walkthrough.
Okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Whoa, creepy. It's a van just headlights on inside, running down its battery. It's just so creepy. Cars just sitting there with their headlights. I've said it before. I'll say it ever more often until I die of repetition.
No,
Whoa.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
What? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh,
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a moment.
I am a pawn in the machine of an evil narrator with a voice that sounds calming and soothing. I really like...
Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be...
So it wasn't really...
Change. Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
This is absolutely the weirdest thing. I am so in love with this. It's just like freeform stuff I really love. They just like, let's make a game however we want to. Is this like a teleport hall? No, maybe not. And it's just like, who even cares? Let's just make it creative and awesome. Let's stare at some art. If staring at art does not cause you to feel orgasmic bliss, then please go back to bed and stop bothering me. Baby. Okay. Inner guilt. Everyone knows what you did. They're just
this
holding
is
back.
the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
All right, sir. Let's...
All of his co-workers were gone.
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, can we have some fun now, or what? I don't know. This might not be the greatest entertaining Let's Plays. It's basically me just saying, oh, this is pretty good. But that's what my antechamber play was. Everybody loved it, so...
Okay, yep, it's worse.
Oh, shit.
I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Fair enough. Eerie. Well, there doesn't seem to be too much interactivity, however. What's this? Oh, there is some. That is, of course, an IBM PS2 or PS1 or something. I recognize those iconic tilted floppy drives and the iconic tilted big red power switch. What did that do? Yes, I used to work with all kinds of old computers, really ancient ones. It was fascinating. So I'm turning off the computers now. That seems like it could change something. I mean, hell, in this game, nothing even changes something. Like, doing nothing changes everything, so...
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Dude, this is so crazy. This is just me walking around going, durr. Whoa. Dude.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Okay.
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay?
No.
I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Does this even make any sense?
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
I wonder if this game is actually linear and just pretends not to be. Like, does the same thing happen no matter what choice you take, or do the outcomes actually change if you... Are there really like 10,000 different possibilities that could happen? Because that'd be awesome. I could play this game like a bunch of different times. Okay, let's follow the adventure line. Well, kind of officey.
The line knows where the story is.
Kind of parking
It's over in this direction.
garage.
Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
This guy commentates like me. Hip-hop happening jazz will be deployed. It goes all over the walls. So silly. Oh my god, what? This is such a mind trip. Like, this room would normally be spooky, but instead, it's all crazy. There's so many different paths I could take. Wow, I bet this game is like mad complicated in its... What? Oh, it's one of those trippy antechamber type things. Dude. Have we?
Got the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, This fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
It's like they just made everything up as they were going on. Just like
Wait,
thought up
we're
lines.
back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Am I going back now or what? There's the fern. But I could go... Wait, this is different. I think. Yeah, because now I could go... No. This isn't ant... Whoa. I'm confused. Wow. Oh, okay. That's there. This must be new. Maybe. No, this is... Oh, Jesus. Talk to me, man. Say something. Restart something. Arg. I want to go in here. But, alas. Well, I guess I'll just follow the only place without the line.
Still missing the doors. Did we make a mistake following the line? Perhaps we could have found the story on our own.
Love how the line is trademark symboled, but only in the subtitles, so you never know it's supposed to be that. What did he just say? Perhaps we could learn more by following the line. What? Found the story on our own, huh? Well, once upon a time, Stanley played a weird game wherein he was mind-tripped, but then he found out that he was actually just on drugs, and so everything had a really boring explanation that made the whole thing a lot less fun. The end. Okay, well, Fern, is it just a throwaway joke? Or is it something more? I'm stuck at both ends here, and I don't know what the hell I'm meant to do here. This just takes me to the place with the empty no.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
I'm out of things to say. What? So the line is here again. This time he's not even...
Stanley, I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Suits me fine. All hail the new flesh.
Yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
So it's Wolfenstein hallways with the excuse that you have a funny voice going over it. Yes, this is antechamber style. Or should we say build engine style? Uh-huh. Well, now. This is hella boring. I mean, just saying.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Seems some inspiration from Portal, what with it coming from behind the scenes and stuff. Well, I'm trying not to acknowledge it's still funny how it paints itself all over the ceiling. But I can't help but kind of follow where it's going, because at least it made the hallway exciting. I mean, come on.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay.
I'm going to walk the
So
opposite
I know
way.
That each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
I want a choice. You used to give me a choice. Did I stop getting choices because I followed what the computer was saying too often? Possible. Oh.
Hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean... did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
Does this actually tell about what actually happens in the game depending on choices, or is it just made up? That's the awesome thing, you just don't know.
Okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
What? Oh, God.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Creepy. Oh my God, like, I don't even know when this really ends for real. Maybe it never ends. Like, when do I even end off this video?
To a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Well, let's try this time. Maybe that was a real restart. Like, maybe that was a real hard restart, and that really was an ending. I just don't know.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay. Well, I'm sure there's all kinds of funny jokes about everything here, but I'll let you guys read them if you like. Right. Oh, I can actually use doors now, so it
Stanley
pays
stepped
to
into the
follow.
broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
If you say so. I see some nuclear solder spools there. So things are actually more interesting when you follow.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Things are more snappy when you follow the story. I don't know what that's trying to teach us, but okay then. Wow. Fair enough. All very dark and 50s wood looking. I'm not 50s. I don't know why I would say that. 70s? Nah, I don't know. I wasn't alive in all of these time periods. Come on, people. Well, my boss
Stepping
isn't
into his
here.
manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I don't even see a keypad. Like, behind the desk. Behind... Behind.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Well, I'm interested now. I want to keep playing. I love the detail. This is such a dry sense of humor. Dry and wry. Let's eat those rice bites. Huh. I bet you could play this for days on end and still not see everything.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
But I'm not questioning. I'm obeying everything the narrator says, so actually, it's... Oh, what? Man... That's not in the controls menu either. Even the controls menu is like meta mind screw.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Fine. Be part of the joke.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Ah.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Nobody can match my strength. My strength. My strength.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Yeah. I was very tempted to click escape. Not to go to the escape place, I mean, but I didn't because you gotta make choices and sometimes they're bad.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I love how if you disobey the narrator, you actually make choices that make you free. But if you obey him, he just tells you that you're making choices that make you free.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Oh, but the narrator's controlling me, derp. Well... Okay.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, Even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Then you wake back up in your cube again. It's not over? Wait.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door.
Okay, this has gone on long enough. I think this is more than a big enough sample of this game, so if you guys are interested in the trip, go and try this game out for yourself. It's half price on Steam at the moment. Might not last too much longer, so you might want to get it for like $11 or something. So yeah, see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.